Yo, 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 good morning, Spartans. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Hope everyone's had a good morning so far. Little wonky this morning for prediction for sure. Some sharp moves in kind of both directions. I am currently trading on Take Profit this morning. It is an evaluation up 258 bucks and looking for the next setup. How's everyone else's morning going so far? Let me know in the comments below. And for those of you that are going to be watching this on a replay mode, thank you so much for watching. When you do get a moment, if you can hit that button and subscribe to the channel, that would be greatly appreciated. All right, so I'm going to clean this chart up a little bit. This is the NQ. This is a 15-minute chart. These boxes here are just an app or a indicator I'm using, just denoting fair value gaps. This overlay is the 1 hour chart, just overlaid on top of the 15-minute chart so I can keep an eye on what the 1 hour is doing. Different colors are your different sins. Black is New York. Green is Asia. Sorry, green is London. Red is Asia. So it looks like we obviously went higher at the open. We pulled back. We to make a new low. We went higher. We pulled back. We failed to break this pivot here. Again, looks like we did make a new high barely over here, and failed to break that pivot, right? So structure at the moment is bullish despite some of the wonky pricing. I don't see nothing here per se quite yet. Just gonna clean this up for another quick second. This red dotted line, I pray this is the Globex open. This was the open, I guess, a few nights ago before the holiday. I'm just trying to think when this. That's open. Thank you. There we go. So that was the Sunday 6 p.m. open. I have a feeling we will test that in the next hour, maybe sooner, as we keep making higher lows. This would be my liquidity. I think there's a lot of volume going to be sitting here. So that's a level to keep an eye on. This yellow line at the top here, that's yesterday's low of day. I'm essentially in some massive gap that was from the Trump tariffs or the tariff news. Just want to mark my. I mean, that's like an equal high, so I'm going to mark this one here. So that's going to be my in the sand kind of pivot point on the structure may change and we start changing from bullish to bearish, right? We went up, we came down, we made a higher high, becomes your pivot. We came down, we made a higher high here. This is your pivot. I mean, you could look at this one here. That's a cool, but there's not enough there for me to say that that's a major pivot point. I think this is the major pivot point here. So we'll keep an eye on that. Let's see what happens here. Back to the Tradovate chart here. This little area is kind of of interest to me as well when we get down into this box here, just like a little order block. Got a nice bullet. What happens when we kind of get back into this area here? We hold this or not? Pretty wicky action, although, when you're looking at these 15-minute. I mean, there's no real clear direction, right? You get this nice little hammer. We get a bit of an up move. Down you come. Another nice looking hammer, only to be negated by this bullish bar here. So essentially just kind of chopping in this range, really. That's the 5-minute there. I mean, we are holding again higher lows. We'll see for how long. But this is the kind of area I'd like to see a test of in that Globex open. Pull it up higher again. So, I mean, we didn't quite get down to the block I had marked, but pretty close. Pretty decent profits on the day. Again, not trading super aggressively or anything of that. They're just looking to take some scalps where they presented themselves and looking to get in at key areas, which is really going to be the key to trading in the next few days for sure. I mean, it's always the key to be getting in at, you know, level reaction rather than just anywhere on the chart, of course, but there's your double top high. Let's see, did we triple top that or did we break that with displacement? Could just literally chop around in this range for a little bit as well. Maybe take a long if we get back down in this area here. I think we're consolidate up in here for a little bit before actually testing that overnight high. Or sorry, the Globex Open. We are actually rejecting the Asia high, or pretty close to it. So we'll mark that one. Keep an eye on that level as well. See what gold is doing. Obviously, he's been on a ripper of a tear. Still making all-time highs. I don't like trading at all-time highs. I'm sure most people don't. There's nothing to look left at to wonder where you're going to go. You got to use pivots. You got to use Fibonacci. I mean, it's not that it doesn't work. It's just kind of less support and resistance, which is how I like to trade. I like to trade support and resistance, and major key levels is kind of looking at. So gold pulling back a little bit here. Let me put a fib on that. Let's see what else. So we'll see when we get down into this 61.8, 65% retracement if we get any kind of pressure stepping in at that point. Go back over to NQ. So just ranging at this point, not much going on. It is 12 o'clock New York time. It is lunchtime. So pretty common to see this kind of consolidating choppy action, but we may get a trade up in here. Oh yeah, not much here, guys. These candles are just consolidating, right? Gold getting bought up again. This is the 5-minute chart on gold. Not much for me to do, guys. The old saying, don't diddle in the middle, is pretty much where we are now. We're in the middle of this range. So the wise thing to do at this point is to look for either a break out of the top, hopefully come back and retest that broken top where we can push forward, or look for a displacement, a fair value gap, whatever you want to call it up in here. A reason for us to get a bit of a pullback and go, or the opposite, of course, looking for a breakdown, retest the backside underneath, and get lower. So up in here, there's nothing to do. This is no trade zone, guys. Sit on your hands. Sometimes sitting on your hands is the best thing you could do, right? I know it's boring, but got to protect that capital times. Risk management is the key to surviving. just hang out, listen to some good tunes, vibe out a bit. If you have any questions about how I trade, about how your day is going, about what's happened, feel free to drop them in the comments, guys. Looks like we got over about 100 viewers watching. Sure, there's some people out there that are a little shy. Don't be shy. Feel free to hit the comment section up. Let me know what's going on. It's gonna be any more clarity. I mean, it's the same sort of chop, but we're looking at this little range we're stuck in now within this kind of larger range, right? There was a couple of decent trades presenting themselves in the morning, of course. I mean, generally the New York Open is gonna have the volatility that you're looking for. ATR is looking okay at 19 or 20 on a 1 minute. That's decent for sure. 27 on a 2 minute ATR, 5 minute ATR sitting at 47. So there's some movement here for sure. Just gotta find a good spot to take that trade. We may get something down here. Let's see how we react at the bottom of this kind of zone. I mean, we're essentially barcoding if you look at this 15-minute, right? We got this gap here as well, this fair value gap that has failed to inverse. It's been respected once, twice, I guess 3 times actually. So it's formed on this candle, so we respected it here. We wick through it, closed above it, almost wick through the whole gap, closed way above, and here's your third. So let's see what happens a fourth time. We got 4 minutes and 30 seconds left on this 15-minute candle. We are essentially in a new hour candle, 10 minutes into the new hourly candle. So we'll be watching, see if we sweep that, which is this 1 hour low wick. And then this line, as you remember, I marked it earlier as kind of my line in the sand. Stay bullish if I'm on top of that, if we remain closed above that. Starting to get a rejection here. I'm going to try a couple of quick micros here. Yeah. Quick scalp. Nothing crazy. So in a long 2 micros, you can see up here, P&L kind of jumping around a little bit, obviously. We're looking for this range to hold and take us back to the top. Exit point when you're playing ranges is normally the middle of the range. You want to, buy the bottom, which I'm not at the bottom. I missed this reaction here. So they did kind of chase that a little bit, to be honest, but I mean, and then you could play from end to end, but a lot of times your best spot is going to be just to get out the middle of the range. You're just looking for scalps at this point until something breaks with conviction one way or the other. So I'm perfectly content just scalping in this range for, 15, 20 points and just kind of padding that number a little bit, right? Let me see if I can get one off here. This is a nice candle, of course, right? Nice 2-minute buyer candle. Let's see if we can get a little bit of follow through. All right, there's one. Gonna put that one at break even for now, and I think that right underneath this wick here is kind of where I'd like this to potentially go before it may start chopping some more, right? It's a pretty nice little rejection there. So it looks like it rejected the 9 EMA. You can see that quite a bit. You get that first tap on that 9 EMA. So we close below the 9 EMA. That's the white line here. And then, all right, just stopped out at break even. Not a big deal, guys. Just kind of playing around a little bit, seeing what we can get. It's $23 on one trade, $1 on another, minus fees and commissions. Still a profitable trade. But again, I mean, we're just chopping up in here, right? I didn't see where that 9 was. You're normally going to get a reaction at that 9. So I think we'll wait for a lower entry. Would be the more prudent thing to do. Let's have a look at gold again, see what Goldie's doing. Gold is just continuing to make new highs. And all-time highs at that too, guys. Gold is now at 47.60. I mean, that 5,000 target was kind of laughable at one point, but it seems like that's going to come pretty quick here. Give me one sec, guys, here. I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. Just had to take a quick phone call there. So yeah, as mentioned, gold is just being gold, continually to creep up, make all-time high after all-time high. Go back to NQ. Starting to get down in that range. Let's see if we can't get into this box. I think that'd be a nice place for me to go long. All right, we are starting to get a little bit of a pullback at this point. Down in here is kind of my idea. These yellow bars, when they turn yellow, that's just letting me know that we've got an inside bar that forms. So some indecision between this 15-minute candle and this one. I generally like to see 5-minute inside bars, and then you could look at breaks of those, so that that one worked out pretty well if you went short. White kind of dotted line here is your Mobex VWAP. So that's your overnight or your session VWAP. That's the one that opens up Sunday at 6 p.m. or I guess nightly at 6 p.m. Right? And then I also like to track. Just got it on another chart, but we'll put it on here. We've got you guys. I like to anchor a New York VWAP. So this is your viewing weighted average price for New York. That one is going to be for I'm Braden this morning, guys. That's your Globex VWAP. So essentially, I'm above both VWAPs, right? So there's no reason to look at fading this move yet, unless we break. Essentially, they're so close together. I'd like to see a break of both of them, and there's my line in the sand pivot point anyway. So I mean, for me, if I'm going short, I'm looking for a break and hold below the 315 area, right? I want to get underneath VWAP. I want to essentially hold underneath this. At that point, you would be inverting this gap as well. So not much to do here, guys. We're just waiting. If you guys are enjoying the content so far in my analysis, please do me a favor. If you can hit that like button, it does help the channel get out to more people. Appreciate you guys watching. And I'm not seeing much yet. I want to see how we react again in this area here. I mean, I might layer some kind of like that. Looking to buy in this area. I mean, it can reject any, right? So we're going to layer 3 micros in that box. If we break and hold it below it, I'm going to exit my trade. I do expect we get a reaction in this area, though. We are getting some reactions down here. but this is just a nice looking range. We're looking to play the bottom of the range. Essentially, my target would be the middle of the range and maybe hold one runner, see if we can't get back to the top. Of course, that's if we get filled and get some sort of reaction up in here. But overall, like I said, a pretty decent morning, $280. We've got this evaluation, take profit evaluation, up $780. Looking to obviously pass that. We need to get that amount to 53,000 for a pass. And been playing generally pretty cautious with it in the sense of just using micros. I haven't. There's one. So we got one fill there. One micro, that is. Generally finding it to use minis the last few days, just with, this massive, green bars out of nowhere, or, you get up here, you get this huge pullback. Some of these candles are 60, 70 point candles. That's, $1,200 if you're on the wrong side of that with one mini. So you can make a lot of money trading micros, something that's not sexy online. I understand that. And a lot of YouTube streamers don't want to show that because they want to show those big instant wins with one micro where they're up $3,000 and they're driving Lambos and all that other bullshit. But the reality is they're just blowing accounts behind the scenes that you're not seeing. Honestly, 4 micros, you can make a lot of money trading 4 micros in this volatility if you're getting this kind of volatility. I'm in 1 micro here and I'm up $30. Doesn't sound like much, but how long we've been in this trade? 2 minutes? You do the math hourly, what that would be. You can make $30 in 2 minutes. It's crazy, guys, right? So put everything into perspective when you're trading. Try not to copy everyone else in terms of what they're doing online. A lot of these guys have motives to try to get you to blow up accounts so that you'll buy more. Just the shitty world of marketing that we're in right now. But the one thing you can be guaranteed is the Greek's going to always give you the straight goods, guys. If I'm affiliated with someone, I will tell you. If someone is shit, I'm going to tell you that too. Because at the end of the day, it's about building a strong community of traders that are profitable and that we're looking out for each other and helping each other grow, right? This isn't a game where only I can make money and you can't. I mean, this is a game where we can all be profitable. There's so much money to be made. There's no need to be jealous of anyone. There's no need to try to outdo anyone. You want to be better than yourself. You want to be better than the guy in the mirror this morning and yesterday, right? So that's the goal, guys. Not getting much going on here. I mean, we're just sitting in here. I've been up a little bit, about 15 points. I don't know how long I want to trade this when it's not moving in my favor like this. I like to see a little more action here. So I may just lock in a small little profit here, guys, and then look at, again, getting filled underneath. I think we're going to come back down. So I'm just going to lock this one up. Take a quick $20, which is fine. And then I'll look at if we can get filled a little bit lower. All right, I'm not sure what that one entailed. That was only $13. I guess I should have taken it off a little bit higher, but that's okay. Minus fee. It's just a quick little scalp, guys. I mean, we're just not getting that follow through. We're getting a lot of wicks here, so it's telling me that we're probably going to go lower. So I will wait again. See if we can't get into that box a little bit lower. check out gold again real quick. So I mean, we got quite a quite a ceiling here in that 400 range. That's been a problem to get through for a while, right? I mean, ever since we made this big, massive move down, we gapped down. This area here has been very difficult to break through. And when we've gotten here, we've gone down. We're here again. We are going down. So let's see. Do we hold this sort of order block area here? We made a nice big push, or are we going to pass right through it? Testing the top of it again. Trading is always going to be a game of patience and waiting. The best traders that I know wait for the setups to come to them, and it's that much harder. Looks like I got missed by, wow. Didn't get filled by, 1 point there, right? 26. Yeah, 3 ticks. Wow. But yeah, the best traders are always going to sit on their hands and wait for setups to come to them. Especially during lunchtime. If you're going to trade at this time, 10:30, at this London is closed. I'm sorry, 12:30. It's 10:30 where I am, but it's 12 Eastern time. London has closed. You are now in the New York session lunch hour. You got algorithms just kind of chopping around. There's no real direction. So important. You've been way more patient than you are throughout the day, right? I mean, we're getting really minor reactions in here, but they're just getting faded right away. So I don't. It's going to move that just a little bit lower. Expecting that wick to get run. And then if we break over here, I may look at go long. Okay, we did get filled there. I'm going to move this one down just a little bit as well for a potential liquidity sweep underneath this pivot and a suck back in. Pretty bearish looking, right? For the most part, coming down here, we're not getting this strong springboard bounce that we got the last time we were here, right? The last time we tested this box, we got a pretty massive reaction and push out. So the market has a memory, right? This is how you want to trade. You want to look at past incidences and see if they repeat. And that's all I'm doing in this trade. That's right now we're looking for that liquidity sweep. We're going to pull this a little bit lower. So that's a pretty bearish candle, of course. Now we're going to see if we can't sweep this bit and do some shorts and see if we get sucked back. And of course, if we break this and keep going, right, then I'm going to just stop out of the trade. Then I'll be wrong, but I'm going to give it a few minutes to pan out. We will hover over this exit button just in case. We may have a lot of sitting underneath here as well in this area generally, so get a pretty decent push out or push down. But then, of course, we got this big area of buying that occurred in this range. So if we do break this, you've got this pivot here to contend before we end up reversing the whole move, right? We are underneath that pivot. All right, guys. We got filled there as well. I'm going to give this too much room, to be honest. And I'm going to move to break even relatively quickly. I don't like the way that we're breaking this box and not getting that kind of buying I expected down here. So let's keep this super tight, guys. At this point, if it breaks its own low again, I don't want anything to do with it. We'll wait to see if we get an actual green candle to print and see if we can jump on the back of that. Okay, I'm just going to get out, guys, there. Just a small $20. I'm going to reset here and wait what happens inside this little area. Not getting the pressure or the buy pressure that I wanted in here. I expected to see some springboard buying, which did not happen. So that's fine. It still could happen. You're not seeing that momentum, right? You're not seeing that quick buying momentum that I want to look at. And when you're looking at momentum trades, they need to happen relatively quickly if they're going to. Otherwise, I mean, we could just keep grinding low and wait till we get down here. Starting to break down a little bit. This will be interesting here. We'll see. I mean, the 5-minute break below that pivot, and it looks like we may be testing this fair value gap down here. I'm curious to see how this 15-minute bar is going to close. See if we wick back up or we get a close. All right, we're testing the bottom of that wick. It's not a bad place to potentially take a short. We are under both VWAPs. All right, there's your New York VWAP. There's your overnight or session VWAP, session VWAP, whatever you call it. 1 hour is closing in 23 minutes, forming a nice pullback point down here at impulse corrective, eventually impulsive wave again. The question is, how far do we pull back? I'm gonna mark this 1 minute order block down here. We'll see what happens. We may only get to this here, but there's a little bit of that impulse buying that I mentioned, right? Now we're getting it. I'm going to jump in long here. This kind of momentum I'm looking for. That kind of candle you want to see, right? You want to see that hold, although. And out. All right. Just a quick scalp. Waiting, waiting, waiting. You want to see that momentum. You see that button coming in, right? So it wasn't a big trade. I took 2 micros, $35. At 9 points, right? So it's fine. Kind of the reaction I was looking for a little bit earlier when I had a bit of a position size. But again, $30 in, what was that, 10 seconds? 30 seconds? I mean, less than a minute. I'll take that all day long, guys. And I will just wait for the next setup, right? We're rejecting that area, which tells me we may come down to this block down here. We'll see how the minute candle closes. All right, we're going to push in there again now. Let's see. All right, we're getting that map push out, guys. That was that reaction I had meant, right? We're long 2 micros here. I think one I will look at adding into. I mean, that's the area I'd be looking at, right? See if we can't get out of that box, although. All right, though. Should get a pretty big push at this moment, I would think. Two-minute candle is going to close here in a few seconds. See how the next one reacts. Strong rejection there for sure. So still tracking that. Interesting. We may go test lower, right? We may test that bottom of the block I mentioned at this point. So I'm not overly digging this. I may look at reversing this position real quick, depending how much of a flush we get here. All right, we're out of that long, and we are now 2 micros short, and target is going to be the bottom of this range here. May have yo-yoed myself around. What happens? I don't normally reverse like that, but I just didn't like this strong rejection here. Is telling me that we may want lower, right? Oops. Or we may just, because it is lunchtime and there's nothing to do but chop around, right? Let's see. I'd like to move to break even pretty quick here. I just don't like this little area here. I think I put myself in that spot to be buying or selling, right? So I'm okay if that stops me out. I'd like to see it break this pivot now. See if we can't get a run on that. There we go. Get another little plan would be nice. Push it. Push, push, push. Push it. Sweep it. Sweep. Ah, I may have been trailing a little bit too tight here. There we go. Run it. Run it. Run it. Close enough. We're out. All right, guys. Not the best trade in here. I'm just, again, trying to play momentum is all I'm doing at this point in my key area that I have marked out. This looked like we were going to continue forward. This rejection will let me know that I should reverse. And all of that at the end of the day, I think we took a loser and a winner and we broke even, right? By reversing. I lost $10, right? What did we get out there at 11? Yeah, I left out there, didn't I? Wow. Oh, 295, sorry. 295 was the exit. Was looking for that sweep, which we got. So about 15, I left 15 points on the table. I mean, you're never going to catch the whole thing, right? I mean, I just trailed a little bit too tight. I just didn't like this in here. We may get a complete reversal at this point. Starting to test the next area. We'll see what happens down here. Pretty aggressive selling from this area down. I mean, we've got all of this here. If we're going to hold any of that. So quit there to contend with. Sorry about that, guys. Just had to take a quick phone call as well. Just jumped in a 2 micro long here. The kind of push you're looking from these reactionary levels is some aggressive buy come in. I mean, that was a nice little push, but there's no follow through these wicks here, so maybe short lived. Would like to see it break its own wick before it comes crumbling down again. See all those little pops out of these boxes are being rejected quite quickly. I'm just going to flatten out, guys, for a second here. I don't like that doji. Gonna wait and see. Start to push out again. Probably should have left it, right? Hindsight is 2020 normally, right? But that's kind of the reaction you're at this box, guys. All right. So that's your next level where it's going to bump its head. All right, guys, we're almost at 11 o'clock now. I am going to log off. And good luck to everyone if you're still trading. Pretty good day for me. I'm going to take the $300 win at this point and to see if we can't trade a little bit tomorrow and get this evaluation passed in the next 2 days. Yeah, thank you again for tuning in, guys. I really appreciate it. Much love. If you get a moment to hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you know and never miss an opportunity when I do go live. Appreciate the support, and we will talk soon.